And the third day is what separates the pros from the amateurs, because a professional has to show up every single time, because by definition, as a professional, you're getting paid to do what you do. At the summit, I'm going to be giving a keynote speech called Work on Your Game, applying a pro athlete mindset at business, work, and life. And one of the pieces from my experience whenever I talk about this subject is people tend to catch on to and remember this concept of the third day, which will be one of the points that I talk about. And just to give you a simple example, I tell people, think of anything new that you start, that you voluntarily start doing. First day, you feel really excited because it's the first time doing it. Second day, still excited, maybe a little slightly less, but still pretty excited. And then by the third day, you realize that this thing you signed up for is going to be some work. All right, starting this business is not going to be as easy as I thought. Having this kid is not going to be as simple as it looked in the pictures. All right, there's some actual work that goes into this. And the third day is all about not the experience itself, because everyone experiences the third day, Steve. Even if you've been doing something for 1,000 days, you sometimes experience a third day. The third day is about the decision that you make when you experience it as to, what am I going to do here? Am I going to show up all the way, even though I don't feel like showing up? Or am I going to kind of half-ass it or mail it in, as we say, and not really give my best effort? And the third day is what separates the pros from the amateurs, because a professional has to show up every single time, because by definition, as a professional, you're getting paid to do what you do. And when somebody's paying you, they expect you to show up. Now, when you're an amateur, you don't have to show up because nobody's paying you. So if you don't show up, nobody can complain because you don't owe them anything. But as a pro, you have to show up over and over again. And if you want to be a pro, you have to deal with the third day, and you just have to have a tool for handling it. So it's not even so much, something that I learned over the years, Steve, is that when you put a label on something, it makes it much easier for people to deal with it when there's a label on it. So when I explain the concept of the third day, people say, okay, I have experienced that before, but I didn't know there was a word for it. So now that I know that there's a thing called the third day, it's much easier to handle this feeling, because now I can call it something. It's kind of like back in the days when there would be thunder and lightning, people didn't know what it was. So they thought God was mad at them. But now that they know what it is, now it kind of makes more sense. So putting that label on it of the third day, I'm going to be explaining that at the summit. It'll help every professional in that room, and I'm assuming it's going to be a room full of professionals, to deal with the challenging days, the long days, the boring days, and sometimes more than a day. You have a third day for a month. You have a third day for a year straight. It's how do you continue to deal with it and continue doing your job as a professional, because that is your job as a professional.